Hello, my name is Laura Lopez with the Texas Tech University Ethics Center, and today we are interviewing our Texas Tech University softball coach,
Adrian Gregory.
I just have a few questions for you. How does the campus community impact a student athlete choosing Texas Tech over other institutions?
You know, I think people in the Lubbock area and the surrounding area do an amazing job to make coaches, athletes, anybody affiliated with Texas Tech vitally important. You know, it's like no other atmosphere here. That Lubbock people love our Texas Tech athletes, and if they go to the grocery store wearing a hoodie of that, you know, they're bombarded and asked questions, and interests are so high. So, I mean, I think that it's hard to even measure it to another university because people here are enamored. They just love them.
How does athletics partner with campus or the university for the sake of a student's education and exposure?
You know, I think the Marcia Sharp Center is where our athletes get everything that they need. They get tutoring, they get study hall hours, they get academic help with class assignments. They really learn that this whole journey is more about academics than athletics, even though sometimes you want to reverse them, but ultimately they're going to be a professional and they're going to learn that through Texas Tech. So I think that the Marcia Sharp Center and our advisors do a phenomenal job with preparing our athletes to go be wonderful professionals.
What support does Texas Tech have for athletes to promote academic completion?
Well, you know, the way that the scholarship is written is to completion of graduation. So everything that is in our honor system, our honor code, is to support that athlete to get their degree. So, you know, from the day that they come in, we're double checking through academic services, through our advisors, through you know, the college advisors, to make sure that those kids are on the right percentages, on the right tracks, chasing the right degrees, and then all the way up till, you know, not even when they're finished with our sport, they continue to get that same track record through the completion of graduation. So it's not just within their playing time, it's within their whole experience here until they get that degree.
You mentioned the Marcia Sharp Center earlier. Do you feel that students actually take advantage of all the services that are offered there?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Our kids are in there all the time. And there's some things that we demand study hall hours wise, right, but ultimately it's open from, you know, 8 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, most nights. Tutoring, there's plenty of tutor rooms. They have even kind of like a personal coach in case they need even more like time management skills. All of those are accommodations that help that athlete really become a wonderful student.
Is there any type of programming that assists with preparing student athletes for life after sport?
Yeah, so the Leadership Circle just started a leadership class program. So whenever our seniors get in their last semester, they go through this 6-step core class that teaches them how to write their resume, how to work a staff mingle, how to interview, how to do a dinner social, there's 6 different, and then at the end of it they get a suit to then go out and be professionals. And I think that that was just initiated this year, and our athletes flourished with that. They felt more ready, and we had kids coming out of here graduating in August having jobs. That's right away. So it's a phenomenal program.
So how did they feel about, you know, being provided an outfit for an interview? And
oh, they felt blessed, you know, like some of our kids had never even been fitted for suits or, you know, for skirts or the right shoes. And I mean, they felt like $1 million. And then we had kids go on interview like the next week and land a job, which was so empowering for them.
Do you discuss your academic expectations of athletes in your program?
Yeah, absolutely. It's written in our team rules. And if they have below a 3.0, they're in extra study hall hours. And we push our kids to get A's and B's. We don't settle here, and they know that, and they know how we feel about, their careers, and that it's not just about scathing by, but it's about, reaching for that next level, both in athletics, but more so even in academics. So our kids definitely are told in our very first team meeting, and then we have weekly meetings with each of them, making sure that they're right where they need to be. And then and we also have our academic advisor that does the same thing with our kids, and then maybe meets one-on-one with some kids that are struggling, and then puts them in tutoring. So we believe that they should exhaust all resources to get an A. And if they don't, we'll take the whatever else, but they should get an A.
So do you have students that come to you and express their concern about classes or just about their progress in general?
Yeah, you have kids that are struggling, whether or not it's time management, or that they don't know how to study for each professor, or if it's just they feel like they don't get that subject. So we'll kind of try to figure out what is the frustration level and go talk to your professor, number one.
Right.
And then let's get you a tutor, and then let's follow up meetings, and let's have that discussion. And since we've been here, they've only flourished with that. And I think, again, the Marsha Sharp Center is the hugest part of that facilitating great, and our kids have just flourished.
As a coach, do you discuss strategies with your student athletes about their academic integrity?
We do. I mean, we're here to grow athletes, and to teach them life skills, and not just to teach them to win or to get an A. We're teaching them how to do those things and to do them in the right way. And, we talk to them about plagiarism. We talk to them about, making sure that your work is your work and your notes are your notes. And there's different, ways you can take a test online that keeps you secure and safe, so that you aren't even looking at all like you're not doing the right thing. So our kids have been educated on doing the right thing throughout sport and through education.
Do you believe that students in your program receive enough support to help make them successful in the classroom?
I think they get more than enough. When we have kids that truly struggle, to me, there's something deeper going on with them than, did they pass a class? It's always deeper rooted than that. So, we have so many different safety nets for them, and so many different safety net in people for them, that, really they have to kind of try to fail, honestly. So, our academic advisor is encouraging and getting them set up, and has benchmarks for them. They have study hall hours, and they have tutoring hours, and they have their, TA hours, and, they know the expectations, and they have so many resources, and they use them. They really do.
Can you discuss the conversations that you have with your athletes about having integrity on the field as well?
Oh, of course. To us, it's all about, the brand that you wear. Are you making Texas Tech proud in every choice you make, in win, lose, and a call agreement or disagreement? Are you holding yourself up to that high character, not only for yourself, but for your family, for our brand? And, I think that starts with us. If we aren't holding ourselves to the right standards, then how should they?
Right.
So we constantly make sure that, we treat people the right way, whether we agree with the call or not, but our kids know how to respect people, and that the game doesn't change that.
I know that there is a nutritionist on staff for the students.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain how that helps them, how that program works?
Yeah, so Dana comes in, and she's kind of what you want whatever each coach wants, you can give so much information to that particular athlete. So we have her come in and give an overall, like, make good food choices, but, also if there's a kid that's a flagged kid that, is struggling with their weight either way, or it doesn't, just has questions on what is the right thing to put in their body, then Dana will have one-on-one meetings with them. She also is in charge of the training table and making sure that the menu is nutritionally the right round settings that they need, so that they aren't just getting carbs and they aren't just getting veggies, but they get a good palate choice. And she's in charge of all of the snacks that our kids receive, and just they get so much food, like they're not going hungry, that's for sure, but in a way that they're learning how to fuel their body, so that whenever they graduate from college, maybe they'll know what are healthy choices and what are choices to eat in the morning and not so much in the evening, and how to maintain their desired weight throughout their life. So I think Dana does an amazing job, and our kids have really loved it.
What do you want parents to know when their sons or daughters select Texas Tech University?
That they're going to get taken care of. I mean, even in our head coaches meeting, Kirby Hokut is talking to us as head coaches. He's saying care for the kids, serve and grow fearless athletes, not just win. It's not about that. It's a rounded experience. It's about that those kids matter as people, and that they'll get taken care of as people, and not just a statistic or a number on their jersey, but that they're going to get their degree, that they're going to have a quality experience, that they're going to make long-lasting friendships, and that they're going to walk out empowered. And I mean, to me, I've been a part of a lot of programs. You don't see that very often, that is the leadership that's coming to Kirby, that's coming to us as leaders, that just continues to trickle down. They just do it the right way and serve the student body and the student athlete.
How does Texas Tech respond to first-generation students to help them transition into college life as an athlete?
There's a lot, when the freshmen first come in, there's a freshman orientation, then they have to take like a CHAMPS class, like a life skills class, where they learn how to have time management, they learn how to study for tests, they learn how to talk to a professor, they learn how to have a social life too, like they learn how to be that rounded personnel, and I think that's been really huge for those kids who had no idea what this was going to look like, what this was going to demand. That's really helped them flourish, and then we also, as our staff, are very aware of that. When you're recruiting a kid, those things. You should know those things when you're recruiting kids. So, of course, that kid's going to be more on our radar than a kid that has had multiple family members go through this. So, yeah, I think that person probably gets more attention than any other kid, just because we all want kids to be empowered and go be wonderful.
Right. When you go out recruiting, what is it that you look for in a student to bring to Texas Tech?
Well, you first look for that quality individual. Like you want a kid that's going to respect their parents, that's going to be a good teammate, that's going to clean up a dugout, that's going to, right. And of course a kid that can play. But I wouldn't necessarily say we take the kid that could play and didn't have the other. Right. That kid has to play, and that kid has to treat people with respect and be kind-hearted. That's huge for us, because you're trying to develop a team of young women to believe in something bigger than themselves. And selflessness is hard, and if they're not wired that right way, then they're going to struggle. So we really look for that kid that just has that heart that's, about something bigger than themselves.
Right. So what advice would you give to a student, let's say, that is maybe a freshman or sophomore in high school who has an aspiration to play college ball?
I'd say go to their camps, mainly, like whatever sport it is, go to their camps, get to know the coach, be in front of them, help out. That the kids that you watch play that are all about their teammates, that are in love with the game, no matter what the sport is, and that want to come be a Red Raider, that's the kid you want.
So what would you like to say to future students that will consider coming to Texas Tech?
There is no better place.